I just got through writing book number 10 in the Look For Me series. The title is Realms. And one thing I like to do when I'm editing is read some of the chapters aloud to see how they flow. Chapter 32, March 10th, 1945, Weston Bay, England. Margaret sat by herself on the beach at Weston Bay. The doctors had concluded that there wasn't anything wrong with her. She just needed rest. She was given leave, and a private drove her from London to the bay. She wanted to be near the Atlantic. As the driver sat in the car waiting, the sun touched the horizon and streaked the sky with billows of orange and pink clouds. Tears streamed down Margaret's face. She had been sobbing, but she was about out of tears. Her face was red. She held a wrinkled telegram in her hand. She didn't know why she cried so hard, except that maybe she realized how many telegrams had been sent during the awful war to the sweethearts and the lovers and the families of the mothers of all the brave men who had fallen. At first, Margaret cried for herself, but that gave way to empathy for all the others who had been hurt by the Nazi aggression and the Italian fascism that changed the world forever. Evil men, men without souls, profiteers, destroy and plunder without regard to human life. Left behind was a swath of destruction that spilled out of the borders of Europe. And in the Pacific, the story was the same: aggression and destruction. How many people were killed? How many telegrams were sent? Margaret gazed at the colored light in the west as the sun disappeared slowly. Finally, she hung her head. There were dried tears on her face and neck. The waves from the bay crashed on the beach. Salt was in the air. There would be no wars, she said aloud. The driver stepped up behind her in the near darkness. "What's that, miss?" "There would be no wars," she said again, "if mothers would refuse to let their sons fight, Private Henley." Henley stepped a little closer. He noticed how Margaret's hair was windblown and her face looked red. "Did you just get bad news, Miss Stemmons?" Margaret sniveled. A few more tears made their way out of her eyes. She held the wrinkled telegram up slightly. "I've had it for days." "You lost someone close to you?" "No," said Margaret. She could not hold back another wave of tears. "He's alive. Shot at Iwo Jima, but he's alive." "Oh gosh, I'm sorry, Miss Stemmons." "I heard the fighting is pretty rough there. They say the war is about over in Europe. I wish I could get into the fighting." "Don't be a fool. You're one of the lucky ones. You got here late, and you get to go home to your mama." Private Henley looked out at the water. After a long pause, Margaret looked up. "How old are you, Private?" 18, ma'am." "Young and stupid. That's how they like them. No offense to you, Private Henley. I'm sure you joined because it was the patriotic thing to do." "Yes, ma'am," said Henley proudly. "How many people have died in the name of patriotism in the history of the world?" she asked rhetorically. Henley looked at the ocean. "I don't know." "Don't worry. You'll get your chance to die for your country. There will be another war. There always is."